Welcome to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's readings, we are asking what's happening for you in September. We are going to draw 3 cards, and I'm actually seeing them already, and some runes and some charms as well, just to guide you into the readings. Let's have a look and see what we have. First of all, for reading number 1, your card is Honeybee. Okay, reading number 2, your card is Monkey. And reading number 3, Snake. Wow. I should also just add as well, so Honeybee is connected to the Divine Feminine. You are being called on to rise. Monkey, inner child, don't take life too seriously. Snake, Kundalini rising. Channel your creative passion and sensuality. Welcome the transformation. An exciting September, I think. Okay, Super Souls, let's draw a rune and a charm for those who would like the additional support to activate your intuition. Reading number 1, Partnership. Reading number 2, Openings. And reading number 3, Harvest. Wow. We'll draw a charm as well. So, reading number 1, you have the Dolphin. Wow. Reading number 2, you have the Leaf. Reading number 3, you have the Flamingo. Okay. Super Souls, I'll leave the camera running for just a few minutes, or well, probably not minutes, but a little bit longer for those of you that would like longer to sit with the cards. If you do need more time, just press the pause button and I will see you in the readings. I'll put the timestamps in the information box and in the comments for phone users. You may find you're drawn to more than one, but just tune in. You'll always find the reading that's right for you. Super Souls, see you in just a minute. Welcome, reading number 1. You have been drawn to the card of the Honeybee, Divine Feminine. You are being called on to rise. We have a dolphin. I thought it was really interesting, you know, that the dolphin is kind of almost mirroring this curved, beautiful curved shape of the honeybee. Now, the rune of partnership is interesting because it means the energy of partnership, of relationship is around you in September. This could be a business partnership, it could be a friendship, it could be an intimate partnership, it could be romance, but one way or the other, this is very much about, for me, a one-on-one connection. So let's put this here and see what you are being called on to rise into at this time. We'll draw some oracle cards for you first, reading number 1. So we are asking, what is happening for reading number 1 in September? What do your spirit team want you to know about? Okay. I'm seeing this card here for you. This one. Okay, let's look at these oracle cards first and then we will draw, well, we will draw more. So you have Midheaven, Pinnacle, and 9th House, Exploration. We have the cards of Hello from Heaven and You Know What to Do. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Hello from Heaven. This is really interesting. So some aspect, what your team are really saying is, look, some aspect of relationship here. And it may actually be a connection, a relationship that you have been working on. You know, honeybees are workers. They're worker bees. Yeah, honeybees are worker bees. Something, there's a pinnacle. This is a really interesting peak of energy, or a peak of something. Exploration. I feel that perhaps you're being faced with choices in September around a relationship of some sort. So a one-on-one connection with someone. This is a generic reading. It's a general reading, so it's going to connect to you in your own individual ways. But something will come to a head around a connection to another person. And there will be, I feel as though you're going to, yeah, when we say you are being called on to rise, it's like a turning point. This is lovely. Hello from Heaven, Archangel Azrael. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. It's really interesting. I feel as though you are being kind of really watched over at this turning point in some way. Whatever this may be for you, we'll ask for a lot more information about this in just a moment. But let us first of all look at these cards too. Wow, let your world spin on its axis. The Snow Shepherdess. Okay, we'll place this here. I think we have that in view. Excellent. And this one can sit down here. Okay, I think what we'll do is draw some more tarot cards. Let your world spin on its axis. It's really interesting. I feel as though we are being given sort of almost two very distinct, almost like slightly different, I won't say scenarios, because this will relate to you each in your own world. But for some of you, I feel there is some kind of a connection to somebody that's an existing relationship, where you actually have been really working overtime at this relationship, and somehow something within that is coming to a head, and you do need to do something about it. Let your world spin on its axis. For others, I feel as though you may have been working to call in a soulmate, to call in a relationship, and somehow the energy peaks, and there is an opportunity here for you to begin that, to maybe meet somebody. Let your world spin on its axis. If you are single and you meet someone, there's something about following that through and making that commitment. So it's really interesting. I feel I'm seeing two quite distinctly different kind of messages coming through already. Let's just draw, before we delve into this card, let's draw some more cards and now delve straight into a tarot pack. Okay, let's draw some cards for you. We are asking what is happening for reading number 1 in September. This card is just, that's the one, thank you, and this. Let's have a little look and see what we have here. Okay, Page of Cups, 10 of Swords, Four of Pentacles, lovely, 9 of Wands. Oh, look at these beautiful 2 pages looking in kind of, there's a, oh wow, Page of Wands and 2 of Cups. Super amazing. Lovely cards, reading number 1. Okay, so we have, I'm totally now connecting to exactly those 2 messages that were coming through. If you have been seeking a relationship, or if you've been seeking and searching for a relationship, I think this is going to be happening. A period of aloneness, a period where you honestly didn't believe anything would ever happen, is going to come to an end. You've been looking for this, searching for this in your past, your history. You've almost questioned if this was possible. interestingly enough, in a way, this message that you've questioned whether something would ever be possible is actually relevant to both of these avenues. Whether you are looking for a new relationship, I think it's going to emerge and it's going to happen. But also, if you have also been looking for, if you've been in a relationship that where you've been working and working and working at it, but it's kind of not working, you're being called upon to rise. So if you've been around somebody who maybe was stabbing you in the back, not being nice to you, really not being okay, the Snow Shepherdess is literally, it's about something new coming. It really connects with this being called on to rise. Let your world spin on its axis. Believe in the impossible. Something that you didn't believe was possible is being offered to you or about to emerge. So those two avenues, if you didn't believe it was possible to have a true love in your life, I think that opportunity is about to begin. But kind of let your world spin on its axis. We're going to draw more cards around this because exploration is needed here. It's that testing the waters, allowing yourself to explore, allowing yourself to discover. You don't have to, if you meet someone brand new and you know that maybe historically some relationships haven't worked out, allow yourself to explore it. Be playful, have fun. This is okay. Four of Pentacles. Enjoy the moment. Celebrate the moment. Because it really is time to let go of things that have been holding you back. Likewise, if you are in a relationship where you have been working and working and working, when you go back again and again thinking that, you can fix it or you can try and make this happen, this is going to come to a head in September. And explore your options, because I think you know what to do. Let your world spin on its axis. Maybe this is a connection with someone that you didn't believe you could ever say no to them. You didn't believe. It's very interesting. It's like this yes-no partnership and duality. I do feel like I'm reading two really clear readings in one go. It's a really interesting experience because I am literally seeing that sort of situations that take your breath away. Dolphins come up for air. They live deep, deep, deep in the emotionality of the water. Water is an emotional conductor. Every aspect, all the symbolism for forever, is associates water with emotions. When we cry, we weep. That releases emotions. And again, it's this duality. I'm seeing diving deep into emotions here, really significantly. For some, it's somebody that you never felt you could say no to. It's going to come to a head. Explore your options. There are going to be ways of navigating this, but you don't have to behave in the way that maybe you've been conditioned to behave. Hearing your spirit team really saying, you're being called on to rise. And this is really about sort of leaving this behind here. I love this Nine of Wands because she looks ahead. And she's looking ahead, and we have the Page of Wands here and the Two of Cups. So if you are in a situation with someone where something is rising to a point where you have to approach it differently. That's the key here. You have to approach it differently. This is relevant to everyone. Approaching this differently. So if you have been fearful of love, it's stepping up and totally embracing it. If you've been fearful of saying no, it's stepping up and totally embracing it, exploring your options and thinking about how to navigate your way ahead here. Whether this is refinding your own balance and love within you in relationship to somebody who has not treated you well, or it is about literally finding that opening of partnership of love. Either way, this is about rising up. It's almost like creating a new story. Very, very beautiful energy. This card literally does speak of the impossible. It speaks of something you did not believe would be possible is now made possible. Excuse me. you know, which is amazing. So something you've worked at is resulting in, I mean, this is amazing because it is about you doing that deep diving emotional work. You know, the dolphin energy, and it is as if you come up and it's, I want to say, a new dawn in a way. In fact, I think I'm going to draw some runes actually for you, some extra runes. But something that you once believed was not possible becomes possible. And yes, it will spin your world on its axis. But you know, she is cartwheeling. You know, this is like jumping for joy. It's like, it's like the realization, you know, I don't have to do this anymore. Whether the I don't have to do this anymore is, you know, I don't have to be afraid of love. I can have this, I can receive this, I can do this. Or whether it's, you know, I don't have to tolerate someone in my world who doesn't treat me well. You know, actually, I can have this, I can do this. You know, it's literally got that flavor of jumping for joy. So turning your world on its axis because you're doing something differently. But you've got here because you've done the work. Whichever way round, whichever message is coming through for you, you've done the work, okay? And this is, yeah, you've been doing the work. This is amazing. And it's like the energy is saying, you know, it's time to rise. This is a pinnacle point, turning point. It doesn't have to be dramatic as well. That's a really interesting thing I'm hearing. We have these two pages and they're both actually very serene, you know, Page of Cups and Page of Wands. They're both very serene. I feel like they contain something here. And here you are in the middle, Four of Pentacles. Very clear advice here as well from your spirit team, which is don't hold on to past ways of doing things. Even if you have been hurt and challenged, it's time to use those hurts and those challenges to step into the future in a way that allows you to emerge afresh. I mean, look at this beautiful Page of Wands. I do feel it's almost like, it's like your emotions are contained here. And it's interesting because the rune of partnership does actually speak to us of heightened emotions. In fact, it literally says, you know, don't be overwhelmed by the emotionality of a situation within relationship. You know, what I would call the highs and lows of relationships, the peaks and troughs. It's a bit like when you meet someone and you fall madly in love with them. But, you know, love is blind at that point. And we can be so exalted that we're not really seeing things clearly. Actually, we need to just explore and cherish the moment. Likewise, you know, we can dive into the depths. I mean, literally, when we start a new relationship, it presses every button, I think, of any previous insecurities. So we can have a pinnacle of exaltation, followed by a, oh, they didn't text me back immediately, therefore something's going horribly wrong. Or, you know, we can create all this sort of stuff in our head. And likewise, if someone has behaved badly towards you, and you are needing to step up to say no. It really does feel like some of you stepping up to say yes, some of you stepping up to say no. Actually, all of you are stepping up to say both, actually in different ways. I'll voice that in a moment, but I'm really hearing that clearly here. But yes, if it's a no to somebody who has behaved badly, then again, it's full of emotionality. Maybe this is somebody who is able to press your buttons, and the emotionality of that is very hard to hold on to sometimes, especially if it taps into sort of childhood stuff. So, but yeah, the yes-no partnership here. This is about definition, and I think that's why we have these two pages here. The energy of a page, I always feel, is something that's birthing. You know, if I liken it to their energy to an age and stage of development, it always feels for me like it's a birthing of a new phase. Because, you know, the knights are established, they're taking something forwards, they're bringing something of solidity, you know, there's, so for me, it's almost like we're launching ourselves, age and stage of development. It's kind of like that point when you're almost, you're not a child, you're moving beyond adolescence and you're becoming a young adult, but everything is very new. So there's new, fresh energy here available to you. And that new, fresh energy is guarding you. I think this pinnacle point as well is that maybe, and this is the working, the inner work you've been doing, that maybe as well, something has become clear to you, either about your own patterns within relationships. In fact, probably within, for all of you, maybe patterns within relationships are showing up here, because whether it's a pattern within relationship where you might sabotage opportunities to have love, it could also be patterns in your world where you sabotage yourself by saying yes when you ought to say no. So there's, you know, if you say no to an unhealthy situation, you're actually saying yes to life. You're saying yes to yourself, to your own self-care. You know, and if you're saying no to thinking patterns that inhibit you, or insecurities that cause you to launch into self-sabotaging behavior, you're saying again yes to life and no to yourself. So this yes no stuff really feels very present in this reading, actually, reading number 1. Okay, let's draw more cards, and yeah, we'll draw runes first of all. We're going to ask for just more information, because it does feel as though for you guys September holds actually I want to use the word empowerment. I mean, empower isn't power over, empowerment doesn't mean power over others, it means power over ourselves. I feel like September from you guys is very empowered. There's a situation that's coming in, connecting to someone else, a one-on-one situation, and it's going to be very transformative. Spin your world on its axis, but with such positivity. Let's draw some runes first of all. Okay. Your first rune is the rune of self. Loving this. Okay, so the rune of self, if you take the rune of joy and you split it down the middle, because the rune of joy looks like a P, you split it down the middle and you open it up. And what do we have here? It's like the rune of joy, two sides looking. Again, we've got the two pathways that we're talking about here, the yes and the no partnership. The need to find balance in that yes-no situation. I think some of you look after others far more than you look after yourself. We have the rune of strength. We have the blank rune, lovely. We have, oh, and look at this again, such balance coming in here. We have the rune of breakthrough. And then we have the rune of joy. Fabulous. Reading number 1, this is just fabulous. So first of all, the rune of the self is giving us several messages here. I'm really hearing your kind of spirit team sort of saying, look, September is a very exciting month for you, in that there is a significant opportunity here for self-empowerment. The rune of the self really validates that change starts with us. Your team is saying to you, look, you've done the inner work. It's time for the wheel to turn. Now, the universe has your back. That's what I want to say. Whenever I draw the rune of strength, for me, this rune really says, be strong. Be strong, rise up, but be steady about this. Again, don't sink into the emotionality of, or be uprooted by the emotionality of any situation. Exploration. Explore your options and think about your choices as to how you navigate this, so that whatever's taking place, you're navigating it very consciously, actually. The blank rune is a rune of gestation. For me, it's like a pregnant pause. It's an ending and it's a beginning. And it is interesting, pregnancy, that word came through, because I think that this is a situation that you have been working on, and really big respect to you, reading number 1. This is a situation that you've been working on, doing the inner work, the deep diving, coming up for air, wondering if it would ever happen. And this is saying, yes, the impossible is now possible. I feel, that this feels like it's like this sort of pregnancy is the end of a cycle, isn't it? A baby gestates, a baby is growing inside, we nurture it, that baby is fed, nurtured, looked after, and then it births into the world. This is a point of birthing. It's a turning point for you, and the real rebirthing is you. the real focal point, the real rebirth. It's not the situation as such, it's you birthing into yourself, into your own. You're coming into your own, literally. Don't hold on to any of those thinking patterns that stop you, or those self-sabotaging behaviors that kick in, that are driven by emotions that connect to insecurities or wobbles. We have the rune of breakthrough. I mean, this is like a 180-degree turn. Let your world spin on its axis and enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Don't go into the guilt trip if you're saying no to someone. And don't go into the guilt trip if you notice yourself sliding into something. Just keep it in check. You know, just say, oh, you know, there I go again. You know, have a giggle about it. You don't have to do this anymore. This is what this rune is really saying. This rune of breakthrough is magnificent. Something comes to an end here. It's a thinking pattern. It's an emotion, something that was emotionally driven within you. Something comes to an end here. And there are ways of navigating this. There really, really are. The rune of joy is a new dawn. The rune of joy is literally carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. It's like a new sunrise. I sometimes think of this rune if I imagine I'm sitting at the top of a mountain and the sun hasn't yet risen, or the sun is rising, but there's lots of cloud and fog, but it's low lying, and then suddenly the fog lifts and the sun comes up and you see everything clearly. This is beautiful. It's a fruit-bearing rune. So this shift within you is absolutely doable. You know, what you thought would be impossible is about to become possible, and it's there because you've done the work. This is a very exciting turning point for you because it's so significant. You've really, really had to work at manifesting this partnership, manifesting this situation where you felt you had the inner strength to say no, but therefore yes to you. Let's draw just a few more cards, reading number one. I think September for you guys is just going to be incredibly exciting, probably quite emotional, but in a really powerfully positive way. It's like you get to master your emotions. There's your first card. What I would say as well, Super Souls, just for anyone who doesn't know me or my channel or my readings, if I'm new to you, I do have a huge library. It's called the A to Z of Emotional Health. I'll put all the relevant links in the information box. If you do find yourself feeling overwhelmed, do check that out. I also wrote a book called Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness. I'm not here to plug my books, but that book will teach you to understand your most challenging emotions and how they connect with specific thinking patterns. You know, certain emotions trigger certain thinking patterns, which then trigger more of the same emotion. If this is helpful to you, do check it out. And of course, this will be a timeless. Even though this is for September, it's still a timeless reading. We find the right readings when we want to. I am building a timeless readings playlist, and it is full of readings that answer very specific questions, and it's there as a resource. It's there to help you. If you have a wobble, check in, find a reading that is going to give you the guidance you need in that moment. And you know, I post readings every Sunday for weekly guidance, as well as lots of these spontaneous ones too. And those are your three. No, I'm seeing 4 cards. Okay, let us have a look and see what we have for you. Look at this, Beauty and the Beast. Gorgeous. This is a resolution. This is something that you didn't think would be possible, or someone that you thought would never emerge, would never be possible. For some of you, the emergence is you. Okay? If you're needing to say no, what this is telling me is there's going to be a good outcome here. So if this is to do with a struggle or a challenge in relationship, or even a struggle within you that says, I don't believe this will ever happen, love will never come, yes, it will. Yes, it absolutely will. I can see that I might need to do a soulmate relationship reading for September, actually. I think I will add that to my little list. We have Rapunzel. We have the Earth Child. Let me move these along because I don't think we're going to have quite room. My apologies for my words. There we go. I want them all to be there for you to see. We have Guardian of Hearts. And we have Guide of Wands. Okay, still more space needed. Well, these are quite big cards, really. So, okay. Right. Beautiful reading number 1. My apologies for that. I might need to go and get myself a glass of water in a moment. Now, look, this is going to work out. You are being guided. You're going to find your way through this. What's really interesting is, again, we've got this hello from heaven. You'll be guided through this. You'll be shown things. Literally, you will... remember the rune of strength. Navigate this situation of connection with someone. Be steady. Explore. Enjoy the exploration. It's kind of like sing and dance and laugh about it. Don't get, as I said, it's really saying to you, it's time to embrace love, embrace life, let your world spin on its axis. And this is time to behave differently, to think differently, to see something differently. It's like you come home to yourself, the Earth Child. You come home to yourself in some way, shape or form within relationship. For some of you, truly something you never, this is, well, probably it's there for you all. This is something that you never thought would be possible, that you would find that sense of belonging within yourself, coming home to yourself in some way, shape or form, being whole again, being whole within relationship, whether that is with people who've been pressing your buttons and crossing your boundaries, or being whole within relationship with a connection of a soulmate where someone completely respects who you are. Yeah, I want to say your prince or princess is coming. Yeah, this situation is absolutely going to work out. This is something you truly, truly didn't believe was possible. We're really being shown that with both Beauty and the Beast and Rapunzel. This is absolutely magical. You know, I know it's very cliche reading number 1 because we all, you know, we know that. I mean, we know that change starts from within, don't we? We know that stuff. You know, if we're not okay inside of ourselves, then we can't attract what we want. You know, we kind of, I think, theoretically know this stuff. We know the concepts of it. But this is for real. This is, you've done the work, the thing that you never thought would be possible. I never thought I could stand up to that person. I never thought I could call in my soulmate. You know, I never thought that this is a dream come true. The impossible happens. This is absolutely, it's such a beautiful outcome, and there is so much guidance and support around you. The universe has your back. Hello from heaven. It's like there is a team around you. It really does. It feels like this is team support, team you. Like they're all up there, kind of with their little go, go, go tussly things that you do at football matches and stuff, you know, cheerleaders. That's the word I want. I feel like you have a team of cheerleaders around you. And this, whatever, again, what you thought was impossible is about to become possible. Whatever you've had to overcome. And it is interesting, look at these 2 cards, Beauty and the Beast, Rapunzel. We're being shown exactly those 2 messages again. Beauty and the Beast, they overcome challenges and they fall deeply in love, and, you know, it's the happy ever after scenario. In Rapunzel, yes, it's also the happy ever after scenario, but she has to defeat a wicked witch first, you know, or a wicked stepmother. So we know that, so this is these 2 sides. One of these cards is about having to stand up to and you know, overcome the challenge of somebody who's treated you badly, and then you get to the happy ending. And in this card, it's actually to do with allowing yourself to love, because, you know, believing that you are beautiful enough. I mean, you know, even the Beauty and the Beast, and you know, the Beast thought that he would never be lovable. So there's a purity coming through here. It's beautiful reading. So I'm not saying that this isn't necessarily without its challenges, but the point is, this is a reading of liberation, literally the blank rune and breakthrough. This is and joy. This is a reading. You have cheerleaders around you. You've done the work, way to go. And September is really, your team are saying to you, look, we are cheering you on. Go, go, go. You know, Guardian of Hearts. Again, interesting, isn't it? We have these two seals, these two scenarios. It really is. There's so much about saying yes and saying no from a healthy position. You come home to yourself in a way that allows you to do that. This is really, really fabulous. And I love that we have the Guide of Wands here, which is really interesting that we had in this layer beneath us. You know, we had, here are you here, sitting under the Earthchild card. We had Nine of Wands, Page of Wands, moving things forwards, moving into the future, birthing into the new. Reading number one, I think there is nothing else to say in this reading, but wish you the most extraordinary and amazing turnaround, breakthrough in September. This is a major opportunity for you guys. It really, really is a major opportunity to come through into a space of possibility in an area connected to relationship that you thought was impossible, in a nutshell. Super souls, if this has resonated with you, do subscribe and hit the like button, subscribe and press the little bell icon, and then you should get notification of any of my readings. I do post weekly guidance on Sundays every single week, and also moon tutorials as well to do with manifesting with the moon, and lots of spontaneous readings that go into the Timeless Readings playlist. So do check them out. That is a resource that's there. I'll put every possible link that might be helpful to you in the information box and the comments, super souls. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all of you who've been giving back through the super thanks in the comments. You know, it is, I really am so honored to read for you, and you know, thank you. It's just lovely that you're able to do that. And thank you also those of you who support my work in an ongoing way via Patreon. You know, thank you so much. And I will be uploading a new tutorial for you guys on Patreon very soon. Super souls, I wish you the most amazing September. This is a significant turning point for you. It really is. And you know, if at any time it feels challenging, just remember this reading. The challenge is the turning point for those of you, you know, who get into that sense of emotionality, and there are a ton of resources there to help you navigate through those emotions. Sending you the biggest hug ever. Reading number 2, welcome. So you have been guided in by the card of Monkey, Inner Child, Don't Take Life Too Seriously. You have the Rune of Openings, and you also have the Charm of the Leaf. So I think we will draw some oracle cards first. Now I'm seeing this one here. So we are asking for reading number 2. What is happening in September for reading number 2? What is happening in the month of September? Let's look at your oracle cards first. Okay. Oh, this is really interesting. This card came up in reading number 1, the Snow Shepherdess. Grandmother ensures safe crossing. And the Snow Shepherdess is speaking of, basically it's like the impossible becomes possible. Okay. We have the card of Taurus, Cultivate, and we also have the card tension. I'm going to put these down here. Let's see where we are. We have indigo and crystal children and moon cycles. This is very, very interesting. So we are looking at your cards for September, reading number 2. Okay. What I think your team are saying to you here is, don't take life too seriously. I feel like you might find yourself in a situation where there is either a clash of, I won't say a clash of interests, but you know, if you're navigating something where somebody holds a different perspective to you, excuse me, and what your team are saying is, look, this is actually going to be all right. You know, this is really going to be fine. It's almost as though there's a clash of interest, there's a tension around something, so that we'll draw more cards and ask a lot more around this. But somehow, within this space of tension, it's almost as though they're sort of saying, look, you know, you can cultivate the situation. Do you know, I actually feel there's going to be a tension that's going to bring you something really useful. Very, very interesting that it feels as though, yeah, something actually really, really good is going to come out of, I think something very good is going to come to you in September. We have cultivate here. Lovely energy. I'm going to put these cards up here for a moment. But it's almost as though that they're sort of saying, if a tension arises, don't take it too seriously. There's actually something really good is going to come out of this. And what you also may find is that if there is a tension, what you might actually find is that it is heightened by the moon cycles. Archangel Haniel, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize upon these cycles. Now it's very, very interesting because I sort of feel, look at these birds. We have 2 birds clashing here, and then we have these 3 beautiful doves rising. Yeah, I actually do think this reading is really saying, your team are kind of saying to you, look, in September, this may also not be, it could be a clash of interests for some of you. I mean, this is a generic reading, so it will apply to your own individual circumstances. But I do feel, for some of you, it could be a clash of interests with somebody, or just that you see something in a different way to someone else. For others, it actually may also just be like an underlying unease. You know, when you have a sort of you just don't feel quite right, and yet you can't quite put your finger on it. And then that can really play on our mind. We can just think, I don't feel 100% today. I don't feel quite brilliant, but I'm not actually sure. You know, I really don't know where this is coming from. And then we can sort of feed it. We can fuel it by going into that zone where we're focusing on it all of the time. We're focusing on the worry rather than almost on something that we don't quite know what it is yet, but we're still focused on it. Now, this card is saying to me, you guys are incredibly sensitive. Some of you will be, and I'll speak about this card, I think, in more than one way, but some of you may be actually involved in looking after children. You may have connections with indigo and crystal children. But if I'm truly honest, I actually think this card in this reading is speaking about you. I think you are really sensitive. And what we're being shown here, this is very interesting, really is. What we're being shown here is, see, I think you are sensitive to the point where you are absorbent of the energy of others. Okay, that's what I'm being shown. You might have an ultra sensitivity, which is, in one way, I need to say to you guys, you know, this is you know, super people. The world needs sensitive people. If people were more sensitive, there would be more empathy, there would be more kindness. And yet sensitive people often feel diminished. They often feel put down as though they're not good enough, or they're deemed, you know, because they don't always feel so resilient, they feel as though they're different. And actually, of course, you know, being sensitive, everybody has their own unique qualities. Again, differences. This card is showing us that there are different ways of seeing things. But I don't want you to, not that it's for me to tell you, but I feel your team are really voicing this. Don't feel diminished by the fact that other people are not the same as you. Other people are not as sensitive as you. But don't let it affect you. You know, don't go into that negativity, because, you know, everything here is about, you're actually being asked to cultivate your sensitivity and learn not to take things too seriously. Because if you can sort of recognize that somebody else who isn't very sensitive, and I see it, I mean, I really, sometimes I've observed situations and, you know, and I just think, how did you not get that? You know, as if something's literally gone over someone's head, you know, someone's said or done something, and I think, how did you not feel that? But actually for them, that's not who they are, and that won't be what their contribution is about. So there is something here about you really honoring a situation. We have like literally the best outcome possible here, because this card is literally saying something that you thought wouldn't be possible is possible. Something happens. Expect a miracle. Something that you believed would be sort of frozen in time, could never happen, it happens. Grandmother ensures safe crossing. So there will be you'll navigate a situation in a way that, again, we have the rune of openings. And look at this monkey just chilling out and playing. And the leaf, you are going to navigate this in a way that creates fertility. Your sensitivity is actually a gift. And it really is going to be really helpful to you. Listen to the moon cycles and capitalize on them. So for those of you that are new to my channel, there are two pieces of information that might be helpful to you. One is that I post like almost like a manifest with the moon kind of tutorial for every single phase of the moon, looking at the dynamics of the other planets as well and what's happening. So do check in with those, because you might find them really helpful. I post them, you know, I just post them randomly, but they are ongoing. So I'm very big on manifesting with the moon, because it has been absolutely life-changing for me, particularly because actually I am ultra sensitive, and therefore I absorb stuff really easily. And when you understand the moon is a great teacher, and her energy, when you understand it, really helps you to navigate the ebb and flow of emotions. And you know, sometimes the ebb and flow can feel like a blooming tsunami's just hit you. So well, that's certainly my experience anyway. But you guys are ultra sensitive. In September, you're going to be navigating through something that feels as though there are some differences, or you're going to come across people who are not as sensitive as you are. This is not to diminish you in any way, shape or form. Don't take it seriously. Use your sensitivity to enhance your own perspective. Cultivate your sensitivity. This is a month of cultivation in the best possible way. Learn how the moon affects you. Learn how your emotions can work for you. Yeah, that's the second piece of information I was going to give you. So one is the moon stuff. The second is I have a huge library called the A to Z of Emotional Health. It's a completely free resource. Always will be free. And I'll put all the links in the information box for you guys. But yeah, it's... I wrote a book as well about emotions, but this is really saying, look, you can use your emotions. You can use your emotions in a really joyful way, and there's something for me about resetting your energy as well, because that's what we've got here. Using the moon to reset your energy. We have this sort of different ways of seeing things, meeting people who don't get stuff from a sensitive perspective, but you can grow something here, cultivate something, And there's like real fertility in these cards. And it's also about cultivating your sense of fun. Humour is a wonderful tool, isn't it? Sometimes, you know, learning to laugh at people and laugh at situations, or even laughing at ourselves, is a really good way of shifting the energy in any given moment. Let's draw tarot cards for you, reading number 2, to learn more. Can we learn more about this situation for reading number 2? What's actually happening? May we be given more guidance for reading number 2 about this situation and how to navigate it? Okay, 9 of Pentacles. This is interesting. Okay, right. I think somebody's really envious of you. Someone's really envious of you. And this is just my very first really strong response to this card. Somebody envies your capacity to handle things. And look at this. We have King of Swords, King of Pentacles. We have 4 of Swords. We have the card of Justice. We have the High Priestess. We have the 9 of Wands, and we have the card of Strength, which I love is coming in. I'm just going to, where shall I place the card of Strength? I'm just going to place the card of Strength just here. We need to find, oh, that's too much light on it actually there. We need to place it somewhere. I'm going to place it here between these 2 cards. That feels really right. Between your sensitivity and the moon. Okay. This is really interesting. So, you are very emotionally strong. You may not feel it. Beautiful reading number 2. But you are actually, because of your sensitivity, you are actually very, very strong. You know, you really are. Now, I do think there will be a situation with somebody who is a bit disgruntled or envious of you. There's something here that's really quite successful coming to you. Cultivate. So it's a generic reading, right? For some of you, you've been working really hard, and I think something will come to fruition. You know, you might even sort of realize, you might even take a break, a holiday, or you can do something. Something is coming to fruition. Things are coming to you. Something you've cultivated. For some of you, it literally comes to you, and this reading is saying, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Something arrives, fertility comes to you, and there are going to be people who are envious of you. Okay? There's definitely an envy and a jealousy or a disgruntledness from someone. That's part of the difference. This person is not particularly emotionally aware. They're not particularly sensitive. They're sensitive to themselves. They may be a little bit narcissistic. They're a bit me. But you know what? Take a really chilled out, laid back approach to this. This is what your team is saying. It's like, you don't have to deliver retribution, you know, this person or these people. I think it's a person, really, if I'm honest. The way will become really clear. Don't be in any way emotionally reactive. Everything here is saying, look, believe in the impossible. Take your time. Don't react. If somebody, I feel like there's some aspect of real significant success around you in September now, whatever that will be in your world. It feels like it could be material success. So something that you're doing, maybe you get acknowledgement, recognition at work, or something that you have been creating moves forwards, or a situation that you've been navigating, or if you're looking for, I don't know, you're moving house or something comes to fruition. Something that you've been cultivating happens. It's really cool. It's really cool and groovy. And there's some process that takes you to this point where that completes in some way, shape or form. There's so much fertility in this reading. Okay, but somebody else is a bit disgruntled about your success and about your achievement. Take it with a pinch of salt. I love this Four of Swords. It's like she's just like so chilled out. She's like, you know, whatever. It's like, you do your own thing. You want to make a drama, deal with it. You know, it's got that flavour of, I'm just chilling out here. I've worked for this. I can have this. Really seriously, this is groovy. We don't have to deliver justice to somebody who behaves badly, or is just because they're envious of us, or they behave differently. Let them, that's their own pathway. It's like, do your own thing, whatever. You know, this is behind you. You know, you don't have to do this. Trust your intuition. Do you know, there's a real sense of self-satisfaction here, okay, in this reading. I will draw some more cards in a moment. I'm incredibly intrigued reading number 2, actually, because I get a sense of self-satisfaction in this reading. It's like, do you know what? Whatever. You know, don't pick on my sensitivity. My sensitivity is what makes me strong. You know, don't pick on me because I'm more connected to the world and I'm doing well and I'm cultivating things and my manifestations are coming through and I'm doing okay. Because this is this is often sort of like, I always feel with the rune of openings, that there is an opening for you in September. Chill out, enjoy it, celebrate it, take it, love it, appreciate it, and take a full ownership of it. And if anybody here around you is, I do feel there will be a person who's quite disgruntled about this. You know, there's a brilliant book called The Dance of Anger, I think it's called, by Harriet Golder Lerner, I think is the author. And she wrote in this book, she talks about the way that people change their steps. She said people come together and we dance the same steps. And if one person grows, it's like they change their steps. And she always says for a while, the steps will, you know, a lot of toes will get trodden on. Okay. And then what will happen is either the sort of the dance pair will part company because the steps just aren't the same, or the other person will rise up and learn new steps too. There's something about this, but I do feel it's predominantly triggered by something that comes into your world of great success. There is an opening. It could be a deal, it could be a house move, it could be the return of an investment, it could be a promotion, it could just be a validation or a recognition, but something comes to you that offers you something of significant strength and benefit, okay? And yeah, I don't see it in an ego way, but I think there is a sense of self-satisfaction here. That kind of knowledge that you're no longer, you've worked for this and you can have it. And it's not that you're not benevolent, but you're not going to share it with the wrong people. That's what it feels like. And I do want to say, for those of you, if this becomes a material, something that arrives in a material way of abundance, it does feel like, don't give to the wrong people. Call that shot. You know, we don't, people who are envious, they just are. And, you know, it's their job to fix that, not yours. Believe in the impossible. Everything in this reading is shouting fertility, something coming to you, whatever that may be, and a reaction from somebody who kind of basically would quite like what you've got, or they, you know, they want that bit of success as well. But you know, it's like, whatever. Your sensitivity is your strength. Recognize that the moon cycles will help you to know when you are more vulnerable and when when you're more sensitive, in which case you need to be shielding yourself, and I don't mean shielding yourself in a defensive manner. I mean shielding yourself in a way that is about just keeping your energy clean. You know, if you go to work and there's somebody very envious of your promotion, for example, come home and have a salt bath, you know, and let it go for work, chill out, do something that, don't dwell on their perspectives. Don't dwell on that, because that creates tension. Don't dwell on how somebody else sees the world. See it the way you see it, because there is a real strength emerging in you. Excuse me. Reading number 2, I'm going to draw some more cards. Just to conclude, really, may we ask for some more information. Actually, I'd like to ask for you, reading number 2. We kind of know something's coming to you. There's an opening. Chill, enjoy, celebrate, love it, have it, own it. We know there'll be a response from somebody in your world which is to do with envy and jealousy. Again, it's like whatever, let it go over your head. Don't let it affect you. Take an ownership of what you have. You've worked for it. You deserve to feel good. Move on. Let it go. Send love. Walk away. That kind of flavour. Now, may we ask about the outcome? What are we seeing? How is this going to then emerge and evolve for reading number 2? This is one, I think. Okay. You have 7 of Swords. Ooh. Wow. 3 of Wands. Child of Swords. And the 8 of Wands. Wow, okay. Right. I feel that 7 of Wands, whatever comes to you, whatever you've been cultivating, this fertility that's here in this reading, this is something you've daydreamed of. You've been daydreaming about it, writing your new moon wishes, writing your new moon intentions. You've been really focused about your manifestations. This is something you have really, really thought about, dreamed of, wanted, and the opening, a doorway will open to bring that forwards. Believe in the impossible. Something that you thought was impossible is going to become possible. 3 of Wands, celebration. Now, it's very interesting with the 3 of Wands because it is a card of celebration. Your team are going to be celebrating with you. Look at these angels. Literally, they're all going to be, they're going to throw a party because something that has been in its chrysalis form, we see these caterpillars here and then the butterfly, something that was in its chrysalis form is about to emerge into the butterfly. This is a reading of fertility. Something's coming to you. It's coming, it's ripened. It's coming to that point. And there will be, it doesn't mean there isn't more work to be done. The 3 for me of Wands is always saying it's like an initial phase of celebration. Now, it could, for some of you, if you are planning a pregnancy, you could find that you become pregnant. For some of you that are, if you are literally birthing something into the world, an idea, someone comes along and offers you the support or the backing or the, something comes here to you. And it is the cause of celebration. There's work to be done, but it is that point of celebration. And then we get this, the envy stuff, the somebody pointing the finger, the Pinocchio card, pointing their finger. And probably all of their envy, everything they say about you, when people are really envious and they're really, they kind of say things that aren't very nice. But when they do that, they're actually describing themselves. There's some golden rules around people who, I can guarantee if somebody talks to you and they're talking about somebody behind their back and it's not very nice, several things I think we could almost guarantee that when they walk away from you, they'll start to talk about you behind your back too. They're not trustworthy. Secondly, the stuff that they say is usually a description of the kind of person they are, if it's not very nice, rather than the person they're describing. So there's something around, you definitely have someone around you who's kind of not terribly nice. But you know what? And it's really sad because it's like their inner child, excuse me, their inner child, instead of being able to play and enjoy and have, the real heartbreak here is that their inner child is very empty, very damaged. And rather than seeing your success as something that's inspirational, They see it as something to put down, but just ignore it. 8 of Wands, you guys are going to be celebrating, and you're going to be celebrating in a much more, in an open way, with other people who are like totally with you. Totally with you. It will be, wow, it's like your team. And I do feel this will not just be your spirit team celebrating with you. I think it will be your personal team. I think you're going to find that it's like people around you. Indeed, I think one of the best ways to gauge your deep friendships, your close friendships, are the people. It's like, how much joy can they handle? If your world is going really well, can they celebrate that? Even if, it would be like if, let's say you were single and you met the love of your life, and your best friend has just broken up with her partner or his partner, can that best friend still celebrate the fact that you are madly in love and it's working for you? Or are they so tangled in what's going wrong for them that they will not celebrate you? They're just envious of your success. The focus is on them. I think you've got someone around you whose focus is very self-centered. If I'm honest, reading number 2. Something amazing happens for you, comes to you in September. It's fab. It's a cause of celebration, and the real underlying element of soul development here is your ability to just say, do you know what, this is my success, I'm having it. You know, if you're going to throw your toys out the pram, if that's how you perceive the world, you go for it. It's not my problem. I'm sending you love, I'm walking away, I'm out to party, you know, in whatever way, shape or form that is working for you. Super Souls, this is a delightful reading. I feel really excited. I'm saddened by this. But, you know, there are people in the world who just, you know, who aren't open to the level of work, internal work, that would enable them to shift these patterns. You know, maybe one day they will be, and maybe one day they won't. But you have no control over that. We can't exert justice over others. You know, that's their pathway. You know, but you can choose to not buy into it in any way, shape or form, and just do your own thing and feel really good about your achievements. I mean, this just feels fab. It really does. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I am thrilled for that opening that's coming for you, whatever that may be, in the uniqueness of your world. Reading number 2, I've really enjoyed your reading. This is your reading for September. I post lots and lots of readings, spontaneous readings that answer very specific questions. I'm putting them into a timeless readings playlist, so you can always access readings that will answer specific questions or give you guidance should you ever need it. It's kind of like a resource there for you. And I do the moon tutorials as well, ongoing. If you'd like to get notification as soon as I post anything, if you subscribe and hit the little bell icon as well, they should come into your stream. And I'll just put any potential links that might be helpful to you in the information box below of all the kind of stuff that I do. Guys, you're amazing. I'm thrilled and excited for you. This is an opening of much deserved loveliness, however that comes. Take it, own it, celebrate it, send love and walk away. Just have a good laugh about it. It's not your problem. That's what I want to say. Tons and tons of love. Have an amazing September. Reading number 3, welcome. You have been guided in by the snake, Kundalini rising. Channel your creative passion and sensuality. Welcome the transformation. We have the flamingo and we have the rune of harvest. It's a pretty cool set of, pretty cool combination there for you guys. So reading number 3, let's draw some oracle cards and see what we are shown for you for September. I'm seeing this card here too. I think it's just these two. I'm going to go with this too. Okay, Super Souls, let's have a look at the oracle cards first. Play with me, we have, is your first card. Do you know, I can't believe this. This is staggering. This card, I mean, I shuffle the cards, as you can see, and I just draw them out. This card has come out in every single one of the September readings. the Snow Shepherdess. This is a card that means that something that you thought was not possible is going to be possible. It's literally like expect a miracle. So this is amazing because it shows that there is something very powerful energetically in September, which is going to allow an emergence of some sort. The readings are very different, or reading 1 and 2 have been, but nevertheless, for this card to come up in every one, there is an energetic of possibility for September, which is magnificent. And you have the card Play With Me as well. You have Imam Coeli, which is root. You have debilitated, discomfort. And then we have 3 cards here. Overcoming difficulties. Archangel Jeremiah, the worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. Kundalini rising, that feels very good. Really, really good. I'm going to place these here so that we don't get too much light, because they're quite not glittery, but they're quite shiny cards. We have Comfort, Archangel Azrael. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. And then we have Archangel Chamuel, career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Okay. These are very, very, very interesting cards, reading number 3. Kundalini rising, harvest. Look at the energy rising up here. It's like from your roots. We have this magnificent tree. Debilitated, discomfort, overcoming difficulties. I feel very strongly I want to put this card over here. It's really interesting, next to overcoming difficulties. That feels more right. Okay. I'm going to ask for more information about this, but there's a really interesting energy around you because for September, because it is as if from a difficult situation you are rising up. Literally channel your creative passion and sensuality. Welcome the transformation. I mean, Kundalini rising, this is transformation, it's empowerment. Flamingos are quite, they're quite a flamboyant energy. They're quite celebratory. You know, they are bright and bold. They're beautiful. You know, they're really beautiful birds. There's something about standing really tall and strong this month. Play With Me for me is always interesting, and I just have to say, look at this overcoming difficulties card. This looks like this rising energy, this feather up to the wings of the eagle, the rising up. You are rising up in some way, shape or form in September, reading number 3. Hence the, you know, expect a miracle. The impossible is possible. Even with debilitated discomfort, the stairways are all leading upwards. Everything is leading upwards. The snake card, we have the Eye of Horus, which is also actually, let me show this to you. The Eye of Horus is sitting on the snake's head and also just above it here. And there are notes here, look like treble clefs, notes here on these borders behind this snake. This is like sing your own song. Have your voice. Say how it is. Play With Me is a lovely card. It for me has quite a duality of energy in a really empowered way. Excuse me. In a really empowered way. I hear, you know, let's be playful about this. Let's get out there. Let's shine. Rise up and shine. But it also means kind of, you know, don't play with me. It's got an energy around of, you know, don't mess me around. Don't play with me. You know, I'm not to be toyed with. I feel there's something very powerful emerging. It's like it's coming up from the root of you. And yet it comes from a space of, we've got here, Archangel Azrael, I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal discomfort. You're rising up. You're rising up, you're transforming. I almost feel like you're overcoming fear. Let's draw more cards, reading number 3. Let's ask for information. What is happening for reading number 3 in September? There's your first card. And your second. So this. And this one too, I think. What is happening for reading number 2 in September? 10 of Wands. Magnificent. And look at the snakes here. Woo! Look at the snakes here. Talk about your energy rising. I mean, wow. We then have the 2 of Cups. You have the Empress. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I'm going to leave these just here for a moment. Let's just look at these cards alone here together. And actually, before we move to these, I'm going to draw some runes as well. Right, we have the rune of openings. We have the rune of partnership. We have the rune of gateway. We have the rune of signs, signals, synchronicities. We have the rune of the self, and we have the rune of joy. Ooh, this is amazing. Reading number 3. Right, Wheel of Fortune is turning. Wow. You are stepping into your power in some way, shape or form. Stepping up into your power, having a voice. Now, I will say for some of you, I'm just going to move these along. I kind of want them all to sit in a row here together, which I think we can get into camera. Yes, we can. Good. Fantastic. I really want us to see these runes together. Right. This is a month where there is a significant turning point. There's no question of that. This card has come up in all 3 readings. It's like the impossible becomes possible. There is a shift, there is a turning. But for you guys, reading number 3, everything is on the up. Something is emerging, transforming. You are rising. It literally is like you are rising up. Whether you are overcoming previous difficulties, something that has previously been debilitating for you is no longer so. You rise above it. You rise above something. This is a very celebratory reading of you in a very personal way. What I'm seeing with the 10 of Wands here, all these snakes of transformation. The 10 of Wands is, the 10s are always in many ways some sort of completion. There's some kind of a completion. There's a transformation. With the 10 of Wands, it's often considered a card of burden, of being weighted down, of feeling a bit heavy, overloaded, spinning too many plates. But what I'm seeing for you is that whatever is causing unease or discomfort, or from a situation that has been causing, because I feel it's very much a past energy, you're transforming it. You're literally able to transform. I feel like you can transform the negative into a positive. That's in essence what I feel. I think that's what we're being shown here. Your spirit team are saying to you, you know, you can take anything you like and you can make it, you can turn it into a positive. You can spin that wheel. The Empress. You have the ability, I mean, she's got a warrior. I mean, look at the energy of this Empress card. Look at her face. She is determined. You know, this is what I would call the kind of the mother energy, the maternal energy, the matriarchal energy of someone who is determined and able to hold really strong boundaries. rising into that power. You're rising in September. Beautiful reading number 3, you are rising. Okay, now the rune of openings means you have a clear direction. You know, there's a clarity of mind here, a clarity of mind, a clarity of presence out of something that has formerly been difficult. You find the positive and you transform it. You become you become a transformer. I'm really seeing that. It's like your roots are in the ground. Partnership is interesting because this is a rune that speaks of a one-on-one relationship with somebody. And it advises not to dive into the emotionality, not be overwhelmed. Keep a clear mind and a clear head. The rune of gateway asks that you pause, that you climb to the top of a metaphorical mountain. You cast your mind back over everything that has ever happened, that has led you to this moment in time. And as you sit on that mountain, you give thanks and gratitude for everything that has ever happened to you. Even the stuff that causes you discomfort, debilitation, because it has led to you becoming the person you are today. Even if you've had people in your life who've been a bit venomous, thank them, because they've been part of your own rebirth into balance. Signs, signals, synchronicities. There is divine timing around you this month. Reading number 3, there's no question there's some divine timing taking place here, because there's also something within this, for some of you, career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. There is something in what you're doing, something in this transformation that will, I think, bring a clarity of direction to you. You may enter into a new business partnership. If you do, take time to review it. Observe the signs and the signals and the synchronicities around you. Take charge of the situation. The wheel of fortune is turning for you, and you are moving into a new space of joy. This is a new dawn, and with the rune of harvest as your primary rune, this is a space of new beginnings. We have the Empress here with determination. There's something about moving through this month with determination. The rune of harvest, if we think about it, when we sow seeds, we have to till the ground, we have to sow the seeds, then we have to water them, nurture them, tend to our crops before we can bring in the harvest. I really feel you step into your own personal power in some way, reading number 3 this month. And I do think that you will come through, I feel you will come through this month stronger, stepping into your own strength, very much in charge of something here. You're very much in charge of something this month. Now you have the 9 of Pentacles. This is lovely. You have the 4 of Pentacles. And you have the King of Pentacles. Okay. This is a very interesting combo. Okay. I feel like you have to be in charge of something. You're going to have to make some decisions. And these decisions will affect other people too. Okay. But you are going to rise, literally. What I would say, reading number 3, is I think a situation will call for you to rise and be seen. Okay. You're going to rise up. You're going to be seen in, possibly even quite a public way for some of you. If you've been working on something and you never thought it would come to fruition, I think you might get recognition. That's the word I'm looking for. Recognition. You're rising up. You have to handle something. You're making decisions. You're making choices, managing money, managing circumstances. It's a lot to do with career change here. And we've got this, you know, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Believe in the impossible. The impossible, the one thing you thought would never be possible is about to become possible. You're rising up from the roots. Let's move these over to here because I really want us to be able to see. So many cards. I'm going to draw more cards and follow through with this reading number 3. I'm really curious about this actual situation. I can see that it involves handling potentially resources, money, and you're going to be standing firm, really like showing what you're made of, you know, in an amazing way. I mean, we have the rune of joy, we have the rune of harvest. Be flamboyant. Don't be afraid to shine. That is really coming across here. If you have ever dimmed your light down, if you've ever dimmed your light and ever felt like you had to diminish yourself or apologize for yourself or justify yourself, this is a month where you really rise above that. You come through it and you don't carry the burdens of others anymore. You're shifting, emerging, growing. I mean, it feels, wow, just, yeah, really wow. I'm curious about the rune of signs. I want to know what signs are being shown to you. And what is this about? I'm going to draw cards and ask for more information, please, for reading number 3. May we have more information? What is this situation about for reading number 3? Let's move those over there because we've got a few cards here to look at. Okay. 7 of Hearts. Beautiful card. Wow. And look at you sitting there. We have 2 of Crystals. We have Sleeping Beauty. Ooh, I'm liking this. We have the Wizard. And we have Jack and the Beanstalk. I may have to draw more cards again just to ask a little bit more about the actual situation, the circumstances around you. But we have a good amount of information here for you guys. So, Super Souls, 7 of Hearts answers my question about the rune of signs. Signs, signals, synchronicities. I'm going to place this here. You're being divinely guided. Whatever takes place, and there is absolutely something that you have previously possibly would have struggled with. It's like, or you have been struggling with. This is the time, the month, this time when you move through and beyond something that is really significant for you. You wake up to something. This is the divine guidance. The 7 of Hearts. It's like, this is a card that says, you know, you are absolutely connected to a higher knowing, a greater power, an awareness of the bigger picture. You are being basically guided. You are being shown what you need to see. If at any time during September, beautiful people, you feel you have a wobble, just get still move away from people and just get still. Look for signs, synchronicities, and ask for them. Your team are saying to you, look, we are completely here. This is literally a month of for me, I'm seeing for you guys a rebirth, but it's not just a rebirth as in, you know, a circumstance or a situation emerges and evolves. This is you. This is the Kundalini rising. This is you coming into your own power in some way. Now, if you are stepping up at work in a promotional position or something, you're rising up the ladder, basically. A situation that has been hanging in the balance is going to come to a head in some way, shape or form. So you may have just been sitting there waiting. Maybe you got through to the final interview or something, and you got through to the final interview, or you thought you were, you know, you didn't know quite where you were going. That direction is now going to become clear. There will something is no longer going to hang in the balance for you. Something that has been swinging, or you know, like a yo-yo, up and down like a seesaw, something that was causing your emotions to be quite up and down, is going to be really, really sorted. You're rising up. Something is either no longer going to bother you, don't play with me, or you're just you're just stepping up into your own power in a very general way. And this is really heartfelt. It's coming from the inside out. I do feel that some of you will be in a position, a significant position of greater power. Now, whether that's within your family, within your relationships, within your community, within your work setting, within, you know, whatever that setting will be. It's like you are stepping into your own power. You're waking up, literally. You reach a point where you can, you know, you have the power to fix something, or to attend to something that might previously have held you back, bogged you down, caused you a problem. You're now in a position of empowerment. You can deal with this. I do want more information for you. I really do. At any time you during September, that the key to this navigation of September for you guys, because you're stepping into your own power, there's absolutely no question of it. You really, really are. It's like this is divinely timed. There's divine timing around you. Things that would previously have been obstacles get overcome. Maybe if people had perceptions of you, those will change, because you'll be seen in some way. You'll be validated. You'll be recognized for who you are. No more hidden you. Here we have this lovely little hobbit here with the ring. No more invisibility. Yeah, if you've been invisible in a situation, at work, for example, if you haven't been recognised, I think you'll be recognised. But you'll be recognised because of your strength. You'll be recognised because of your determination, because of your ability to keep going, to sort things out, to take charge. You'll be recognised because of your ability to overcome something, and yet also to nurture in a firm way. I mean, for many of you, this may well be mostly job, career, money orientated, but could also be family, home. But you will be recognised for who you actually are. No more invisibility, no more being sidelined in any way, shape or form, no more imposter syndrome at all. This is kind of like you stepping up with an opportunity for you to be absolutely seen and heard in no uncertain terms. It feels such a strong reading, and yet so powerfully positive, with the rune of joy, a fruit-bearing rune, the self, you coming into your own. And you know, you can notice here that the rune of joy, the rune of the self, is the rune of joy split in half. Something that used to knock you, you take charge. You see things. It honestly, this feels amazing. Be flamboyant, be yourself, be big, be bold, be adventurous. Reading number 3. This is a month for you to step up, not down, at every opportunity. If you get an invitation to speak, speak. If you get offered some resources to manage, manage them, embrace the whole thing. take it forward, step into your power, be seen, and be your amazing you. I am curious, it may be that we're not being shown an exact situation because it's a general reading, and so, you know, there's only so many scenarios we can cover. But everything in this reading is about your own power, no longer being governed by somebody else's authority, no longer having to shrink or hide or be invisible. And yet it comes from such a solidness, an inner sense of groundedness, of having your roots firmly planted in the ground. Let's ask, may we please have any more additional guidance about the actual circumstances around this? Okay, I'm going to take one, and that one too. Let's see what else your team are wanting you to say. It's a very interesting month, really. So we have the Star. You're going to be a leader in some way, shape or form this month. You will lead. You will take charge and you will lead. You'll hold hope. You'll hold something for people. Yeah. You get to call the shots. You really do. Justice card. But you'll do so with great fairness as well. You're going to lead, you're going to find yourself in some sort of position of leadership. Oh, look at all these snakes again. This is fascinating. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Eight of Wands. And we have the Nine of Wands. This is so interesting because in the Nine of Wands, can you see that the snakes now are now embroidered into the fabric of her coat. She's not got snakes that are wrapped around her. The snakes are now a part of her clothing. Really, really interesting. This is really remarkable. Reading number 3. I'm not being given anything very, very, very specific for you as such, and I think it is just that it's a generic reading, but the specifics that are being really shown here, your spirit team are saying, look, September is a month where you rise up and you become a leader of in some way, shape or form. Six of Wands is a card of victory. And yet it's quite interesting because here it feels as though what I see in your reading is a humbleness that comes with it. There's an honesty, there's an integrity in your leadership. There's a truth about you. You wake up, you step up, people come to you, you become a leader. Jack and the Beanstalk. I mean, Jack was a real entrepreneur, you know. He set off, he and his mum were living in destitution and poverty, and his mum couldn't afford to keep the only resource they had was the cow, and so his mum sent Jack off to sell the cow at market just to get some food and some money that was needed in the immediacy, and actually he bought some magic beans instead, and this whole adventure emerged in which he had to overcome a challenge, but he did so. He slayed the giant and came into his fame and fortune. I feel like this is a month when you guys have something that you have had to tackle that may have previously got you down, literally tipped you up and down like a seesaw. You rise above it. You're no longer invisible, you're seen. Six of Wands is a card of public recognition. The Eight of Wands is a card of literally of transformation, of the energy moving forwards, of everything that was negative is transforming into positivity. The Nine of Wands, moving ahead. I actually think, reading number 3, that something will come into your world in September that is going to rocket your progress forwards in some way, shape or form. Whatever your ambitions, Whatever your desires, I think something will come in. Now, it will be unique to each of you in the circumstances of your own world. For many, it will be connected to your career, to money, to finances, to those kinds of aspects of desires. It could also be kind of family, home, physical possessions, material possessions. If it's health, I think you will, you know, if you have been struggling with low energy, debilitation, you'll get your energy back. But this is a month when you rise. You rise up, you come through, and you are seen, recognized, validated. You carry hope for people in some way, shape or form. So whether this feels within your family, or, as I said, wherever it is in the workplace, you rise up, you take something, I can't say you take something on, because that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like there's a battle going on here, okay? It really, really doesn't. I'm not seeing any essence of battle. I'm literally seeing you coming into your own, stepping up, knowing who you are from the roots upwards, being you, being your authentic self, and people really admiring and respecting you for that. And people seeing that you have the capacity to help them to transform their challenges as well, because you've understood how to transform yours. However this emerges, this is a phase of life when you are going to enjoy aspects of yourself that previously were hidden, that even you hid or that you had to diminish, put down. It's just a super month. I'm not being given the specifics for each of you. I would love to do that, but can't. In this reading, we're not being shown that, even with the extra cards. But I can say to you, reading number 3, your team are saying to you, this is time for you to rise up. You are going to be visible. You are going to be given potential responsibility for certain things. And within those responsibilities, you are going to literally become a transformer, a creator, a mover and a shaker in whatever aspect of your world that might be. It is all about stepping up, rising up, and assuming a new position of greater authority, recognition, but in a really beautifully humble way as well. It's like you don't forget your roots. You know where you've come from. It's one of those amazing things, isn't it? When people really step up and they really step into their own power, and suddenly their success becomes very, very apparent. And that's just fabulous. But in that apparentness, in their success, they don't forget where they've come from. They don't forget what matters. And that's actually what's fueled them from day one. It's really, really, this is phenomenal, this reading, reading number 3. And all I can say is well deserved, because there's no question, the wizard, that you have been through many, many trials to get here. You've been through many, many, many trials to reach this point. Many challenges along the way. And now you come into your own, and it's awesome. Super souls, yeah, don't forget to shine in your get out there and be out there is what I want to say. Reading number 3, and yes, celebration. This just feels like a celebration of you in the most in the most amazing way. Super souls, I'm sending you so much love and also so much respect, because, you know, to get to this, you've undergone a lot of trials and challenges to get to this point in your life. And, you know, obviously challenges never ever stop unfolding. That's life. We wouldn't keep moving into higher levels of consciousness and awareness, and it never stops till the day we pass on. But wow, this is one of those pivotal turning points. It's a pivotal opening, but it feels utterly, utterly joyful. It really does. I feel like your spirit team are going to be up there celebrating and having a party, you know, because you've kind of, it's like a milestone that you've reached, and it's beautiful, and they will be absolutely honoring this point of personal recognition, validation that's within you in whatever way, shape or form that emerges in the uniqueness of your own world. Super souls, If you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, if you subscribe and hit the little bell icon, they should come into your stream. I post a ton of readings, as well as readings every single Sunday for weekly guidance, plus moon updates with all the different moon phases ongoing. So if you're interested in manifesting with the moon, those might be of interest. I'll just put all the links I can think of in the information box below so that you can access all the sort of stuff that I put into the world. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are truly awesome. Thank you for all of you who are giving back through the super thanks, and also to those of you who are really supporting me and my work, all the stuff that I do in the world ongoing through Patreon. You guys are just amazing, and I will be uploading a new tutorial for you on Patreon very soon, the September one. Super souls, just have an amazing September. Rise up, embrace it, celebrate, be big, be bold, be you, and yeah, the world needs you. and this is just fab. Super souls, sending you so much love.